May I now request Venkata to please give introduction?
Hi, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Venkat Kiran from Andhra Pradesh. Present, I am pursuing my final year graduation in Hyderabad. My aim to talk fluent English with my colleagues and my friends, my circle, and for improving my communication skills and leadership skills from the Toastmasters. This is a very, I did not know about any non-profit organizations. There are profit organizations. This may be helpful to me to improve my communication skills. Thank you.
Definitely, Kiran, it is a nice platform. I always wonder if I would have been a member of Toastmasters if I was in college, then maybe I would have become CEO of an organization or would be more better entrepreneur. That is what I always feel, but it's always good start anytime we are doing. I see people who start at the age of 50s and I think that, okay, I'm not too late to do that. So I acknowledge the presence of Hazar from Hazar Toastmaster. I think you are a Toastmaster. Can we have a quick introduction, please?
Yes, she joined from Morocco, our friend from Eloquent Toastmasters.
He is visiting Toastmaster.
Hi, yes, I'm from Morocco. I'm a Toastmaster from the Eloquent Leaders Toastmasters Club.
Thank you for joining with us today, Hazar, and we look forward to hear from you. Once the meeting is completed, I'll come back to you. With this, let us start with the flow of the meeting. I want to hand over this virtual stage to this person who is always excited to know what is his next project. And sometimes he is very creative in writing and sometimes he's very funny in expressing his feelings. So let me welcome the young and energetic Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Saurabh. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana, for that warm introduction. A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. My name is Saurabh Agrawal, and today I'm the host for this evening. Now, today is a bit different. Like, I don't have a specific agenda or theme for this meeting. I wanted to do something different today. In the interest of time, because we have an educational session, plus we have to run the entire proceeding of the Toastmasters meeting. So the thing which I wanted to do differently is I want to speak to you today. I want to know your thoughts, your feelings on something which is very important to everyone, I guess. So the question, and I think a similar project is being done by our own Toastmaster Kalpana, but before reaching to that stage, I basically want to open this forum and want to understand from you guys. We have generally been asked this question, like, what motivates you? But I'd like to flip that question and I'd like to understand from the audience, understand from the members, what do you do when you feel demotivated? Like, when you are demotivated, how do you come out of that zone? So that's the question of the evening, and I would like to open this forum for one or two members to express their secret on how to come out of that demotivation zone. Anyone from the audience?
Yeah, myself. Am I audible, Saurabh?
Yes.
Yeah. When we feel demotivated, I often think of why I started. When we go back to why I started, then I definitely understand and the long way which I have to travel, and I can understand. Then again, I will get rebooted and refreshed. And it is like going back to the basics, why you have started your journey, why you are in, let's take an example of Toastmasters. What is your starting statement when you came to as a guest? What statement you made? Why you have started your journey in Toastmasters? Then in between, we often go here and there, and we'll come into the track, and again we'll motivated. Okay, Saurav, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmasters today. So interesting thing to observe upon. So basically, whenever we feel demotivated or when we are deviated from our path, we basically think about the goal with which we started. What is the purpose? Why we are following this journey? So that's an interesting thing to think upon. Uh, we'll continue this discussion throughout the meeting, but let's move to the actual agenda of this meeting, which is fully packed today. So before moving into the actual sessions, let me uh, explain the structure of today's meeting. So a typical Toastmasters meeting for guests, especially because members are already aware of the Toastmasters meeting structure. For the guests, it is basically consists of three sections. First is prepared speeches, then we have table topic session, and then we have evaluation. Now the difference today is we also have an educational session from a guest speaker on how to effectively improve your enunciation. So we'll have that session included along with other three sessions. Now with that, let me start the first session of today's meeting, which is prepared speeches. So let me invite Toastmaster Puneet to present the objective of the speech for Toastmaster Sudhir. Over to you, Toastmaster Puneet. Toastmaster Puneet, can you hear me? You're on mute, Toastmaster Puneet, if you're speaking. Kalpana, can you hear me?
No, I think Puneet is having some problem. Puneet, are you there?
Sorry, so till the time he comes back to the meeting, I forgot one thing. So in the evaluation section, so we don't have a full evaluation team, but we do have the timer for today's meeting, who is Toastmaster Amit. So let me introduce Toastmaster Amit, and then I'll pass it over to him to explain his responsibility for today's meeting. So Toastmaster Amit is from Patna. He completed his BTech from NIT Patna in Computer Science and Engineering. After his graduation, he joined Amazon as a software development engineer. He plans to own his business venture one day. So with that introduction, over to you, Toastmaster Amit, to explain your roles and responsibilities.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. Good evening, everyone. So as a time, today I'll be playing the timer role. As a timer, my role is to time all the speeches presented by the speakers and the evaluations done by these evaluators. Also, I will be timing the speeches which will be presented during the table topic section. So for prepared speeches, during the timing, I'll be showing different flags, different background to show different timings. So for the prepared speeches, the time duration is 7 minutes, where I will be showing the green at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. Apart from this, there will be a 30-second grace period given for the prepared speeches. For table topic speeches, the time duration is 2 minutes, where I will be showing the green at 1, yellow at 1:30, and red at 2. For evaluations, which is for the 3 minutes duration, I will be showing green at 2, yellow at 2:30, and red at 3. For all the speeches, 30 seconds is given as a grace time period. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for that explaining your role. Toastmaster Puneet, are you back? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm so sorry, Toastmaster. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. I have to read out the objectives, right?
Yep. Please go ahead.
Yes. So Toastmaster Sudhir will be attempting level 1 project 3, research and presenting. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note that the time is 5 to 7 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. Wishing Toastmaster Sudhir all the best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet, for presenting the objective of Toastmaster Sudhir's speech. Now, let me introduce Toastmaster Sudhir. Sudhir has done his MSc in nursing, currently working as a medical transcriptionist and handling his family business side by side. So I wish Toastmaster Sudhir all the best, and over to you, Toastmaster Sudhir.
Saurav, is he there? And one more thing, title. कुछ बताया कि नहीं बताया अभी तक?
Hello, am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is Sudhir. As Saurabh said, I'm nursing graduate. I am completed post graduation. Right now, I'm working with Railway Hospital, Guntakal. So today, I would like to speak about COVID-19. So most of them, everybody knows in the newspapers and TV news and everywhere. So I guess most of them is having a decent knowledge about COVID-19. Okay, let me take a deep through the COVID-19. So as everybody knows, when I will start with the COVID symptoms. So like everybody knows, cough, cold, sneezing, fever. These are the kind of COVID symptoms. But most of them, it doesn't have any symptoms. Those are called as a non-symptomatic, asymptomatic and asymptomatic. Two types of conditions is there. So people, when people is having these symptoms, they called as an symptomatic COVID patients. And people doesn't have any symptoms. They should not show any symptoms. Those are called as a asymptomatic. So when you guys might have heard about the herd immunity. So when most of the people who doesn't have any lifelong conditions like diabetic hypertension and chronic kidney disease kind of things, they usually more prone to get these kind of diseases. Since they are taking bulk medicines in everyday in their lifestyle. So they are more chances to get this COVID-19. And people who are asymptomatic, they won't show any symptoms over there. So if we have COVID-19, if we have a COVID-19 or not, or else if we already got a COVID-19, there is a one test we can check. It is called as a antibody check, which is called as a IgG and IgM and IgE. So these are three antibodies. When you will take this test, you can come to know whether you got a COVID earlier or not. And right now, if you have any symptoms, there are two different kinds of tests available in the market. One is an RT-PCR and second is a RAT. RAT is called as a rapid antigen test. Immediately, you will get a result through this test. But the accuracy is very less in this RAT. Accuracy is less than 30%. But in RT-PCR, the accuracy will be up to 60 to 70%. If you want to get to know about more accurately, there is another test is called a CT test or MRI test. These are the tests where we can accurately able to know whether we got a COVID-19 or not, and what is the current so whether what is the rate of COVID. So when we see the CT report, there we can see the CT score. CT score is given to 1 to 25 is a normal range of the CT score. So there it is again classified as a CORAD. CORAD means it's a COVID kind of if the COVID symptoms is present in the CT, they called as a CORAD. So if the CORAD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different categories, they will give a report. If the CORAD 5 is, they are more chronic and very difficult to control these kind of people. 3 to 5 is a more chronic, and 2 to 3 is a moderate, and less than 2 is a mild. So these are the cases right now is going on. And when we come to the treatment kind of thing, when we come to the treatment, as of now in the market, we are using remdesivir for this treatment. For 7 to 8 days, we are in hospital sector. We are using a remdesivir along with kind of dexamethasone or methylprednisolone kind of NSAIDs. With this NSAIDs, we are using for COVID treatment. So, and another thing, if the in future, if we I mean, 1 second. But when compared to the across the globe, the rate of chances to get in Indians are very less, because when we see the food, I mean, food and dietary habits to the globe and globe side, they will mostly prefer the preserved food. But when comes to in India, we will prefer the freshly prepared food. So because of that reason, we used to get more immune when compared to the foreign countries. And moreover, in Indian lifestyle, we will use many spices like elachi and in Telugu they called as in spicy flowers and the dalchina chekka and the lavangam kind of things will be called in Telugu. I don't know exact names in English. So because of these spices, the immunity is increasing like anything to the in India. And right now current scenario, in third wave, especially in third wave, COVID symptoms are looking similar to the dengue. So we can't able to segregate either the patient is having either COVID or dengue. So only with the help of the RT-PCR or RAT or CT test, we can bifurcate whether the particular patient is belongs to either COVID or dengue. So if you want to accurately confirm the platelet count, usually right now we are seeing the platelet count which is less than people who is less than 1.5 lakh. They are more prone to they are more prone to have a dengue fever. So most of the people right now, they are having a mixed symptoms of COVID-19 as well as dengue conditions. And so right now, I mean, if we want to avoid these conditions, first of all, we have to improve our acquired immunity through the dietary habits as well as through the daily brief exercises like kind of brisk walk as well as any cardiac kind of exercises, and daily intaking of the hot water in this particular climate situation. Taking hot water is more it will so it will avoid more kind of conditions like common flu. So we can avoid common flu in this particular environment. And yeah, I'm done with my speech. Over to you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhir, for sharing your expertise and the tips and tricks on how to be healthy during this COVID time. And I must say, this is the need of the hour. So thank you so much for that wonderful research and speech. Now, coming back to the agenda. So next we have a speech by Toastmaster Kalpana. But before that, let's hear the speech objective from Toastmaster Rekha. Over to you, Toastmaster Rekha.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. So today, Toastmaster Kalpana is going to provide her speech, and her speech objective is the purpose of her project objective is to practice the skills needed to build a cohesive team and host an event. This being the first speech, she is to introduce the team building event she plans to host. And timer, please note down, the speech length is 2 to 3 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Sorry, Toastmaster Rekha, it is 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I saw it as 2 to 3 minutes in the evaluation form. So sorry, correction, 5 to 7 minutes, right? Yeah. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day. All the very best, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha. So let me introduce the speaker for the next speech, Toastmaster Kalpana. I don't think she really needs an introduction. She is our own club president, Madam Kalpana, that's what we call her. But to formally introduce her, so Kalpana is a passionate classical dancer and she is a software engineer by profession. She runs her own dance school and believes strongly that we should not forget our culture and roots. So over to you, Toastmaster Kalpana, and all the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Check, check. Am I audible and visible? Yes, thank you. I always remember this line, and this acts me as a motivation. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. In the month February 2021, after 5 years of wait, I was moved into a new position, into a new team with promotion. I was very happy that I got promoted, but soon I realized that this team is a group of people with different abilities, talent, expertise, and background. No one had similar background, and everybody were individual contributors of their own roles. I quickly understood in a team meeting that there were different age and different designated people in my team. And we all used to do one thing in common, and that was to communicate with all stakeholders. Being individual programmers and also UAT team representatives, we were more worried to ensure that our products are being tested properly and released as per the regulatory rules. In this course of time, we always used to encounter a situation where we see that our project timelines would never meet the deliverable timelines. Maybe because of a lately identified bug, or because of any external environment or a vendor application which is not working properly as per the expectations. Here, I always felt that my team members were not able to convince the project team. And there, I felt that there is a scope of improvement for building a communication skill within our team. With this, I immediately started with a small program to introduce the Toastmasters, because I have been working as Sergeant at Arms for 6 months, and I always read the Toastmaster project, and I was sure that I have to ensure all the benefits that Toastmaster program offers should reach to the maximum people. With this, I first started with having a small team meeting where I could explain about what Toastmasters program is and what are the different pathways we have and what is the structure and what are the benefits that someone gets and how they can improve their communication and leadership skills. The very first question my manager asked was, tell me, what is the use of this program? How can we improve how can it benefit to my clients? I only told him one thing, the common thing which was more difficult to answer. You are identifying a bug because of which you cannot go live. How would you handle this question? And how would you convince that if we go with this bug, we will have difficulty to have our production product working properly? So this is where he got convinced, and he said that, okay, you can run the segment. So I started with a small video and I explained about the table topic masters and its importance, table topic segment and its importance. And I gave them a small video for practice, how they can attempt for it. I gave 2 weeks of time for everyone to ensure that they are coming up prepared with this. I luckily had one of the Toastmaster from Gurgaon who was ready to help me as a timer. We had all the stage set. We have given the name as Freedom to Speak, and we started our segment. We had 6 participants from 8, and one of them was my manager too. It was a very difficult challenge for me to give him his evaluation. So out of 6 participants, we have given different table topics for each of them. And to my surprise, everybody had given their own story about what it was. And we had given feedback for each and every participant after they have given their table topic. And the most difficult one was for my manager, where I have to tell him, you have been using so many R's and doubles, and you have always exceeded the limit. Try to be organized in your speech and ensure that you are able to give the best out of your speech and planned agenda. This was what I had to give. I felt that this was something learning for me as well, because I I was always thinking that, if whatever as an individual contributor I am, but to my manager, I cannot give feedback. But because of my Toastmaster learning program, I am able to do that. And after 1 week of the successful completion of Toastmaster event, I could see that 2 members, one by name Azam, joined Toastmasters in Hyderabad, in my home, in another home club, corporate home club, and another one Gurgaon member joined in Gurgaon club. And this was something where I have achieved, and both of them have chose me as mentor. So I felt that we have a saying, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Whenever we see darkness around us, we have to become the candle which will spread the light. And with this light, we'll be able to enable someone else's life, and also will be able to spread the lightness of education. So I was able to become a candle. I hope that you all will be able to become another candle and spread light across and carry this journey ahead. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Can you hear me? Perfect. I wish every corporate office or every team has a mentor or manager like you who shows the path by doing, not just by telling. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Kalpana. Next, moving to the agenda, Toastmaster Raghu, do we have table topics as Anto is not here?
Suresh, can you take up the table topic master role?
You're asking me, sorry?
I'm asking Suresh Kotipalli.
Okay. Okay, now I have to go. Yeah, I'll take up.
Thank you, Suresh. Yeah, we will have an instant table topic master. I think it's raining here in Hyderabad. Maybe that is the reason we are not able to see Anto. Not able to reach him. So Suresh will take over Saurabh.
Sure. Thank you, Suresh, Toastmaster Suresh, for taking up the table topic master in the need of the hour, since Toastmaster Anto is not here. I don't have a formal introduction for Toastmaster Suresh, but let me tell you whatever I know about him. So I've seen Toastmaster Suresh for last 4 and 5 months. He's always smiling and energetic, and I've seen him taking part in impromptu conversation, impromptu like table topics. I've seen him given multiple speeches in the past 4-5 months, and he's a good speaker and he gives a good evaluation as well. So with that, let me hand over to Toastmaster Suresh for the table talk session. And Toastmaster Suresh, please feel free to add something more to your introduction if you feel so. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you, Saurabh, for your wonderful introduction. And you have covered almost all the points of me. And it is again impromptu. This TMOD also impromptu for me. Okay, now I'm going to take this impromptu session. I'm going to give one color for you. You have to speak about that color, because we often use one color to represent one feeling or one, what you call aspects in our life, to represent colors. For example, if you go for in your traffic, you see red, green, yellow, so that you stop sometimes, you go sometimes, you move slowly sometimes, because the color represents something in our life, day-to-day life. Please, all the participants, come forward, and I'll give you with a good one. If anyone comes first, I'll give a very good color for you, if you nominate anyone.
Let me go. I don't see anyone.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry.
I can go. Yeah, we have anyone, or I can go. No problem.
Okay, Kalpana, I'm going to give you a color, blue color, which I look most, because most of my shirts are blue only.
Wow. Thank you, Suresh, for that wonderful color which I got. I always liked blue, and blue is my favorite color. My all wardrobe will be blue in color. Let me tell you why I like blue. Because since childhood, I felt that blue is the only color which can spread across. We see green grass on the earth, but we see blue sky more larger than what we have it on the earth. So I felt that blue is something which is very attractive since childhood, and I used to like it. And I also, when I was in college, I used to do a lot of research, and I understood that, people who like blue color will have their view to infinity, and they will be able to open their open thoughts will be there for all of them who like blue color. I am not saying that green or red are not good colors, but blue is something which, makes us feel like, very good. And especially when I joined this new team, I always see that blue color is marked as the activity which is completed. So I live for that color. That is what I understand when I see blue color. So out of all the 7 colors across we have in the rainbow or anything, blue is something which can spread easily and which goes very nice with white color, and which gives completeness, and it also takes the content of water, which is very essential for living. And the blue color is represented, and also blue cross is representation of animal love, and we can always understand, as we have red cross, we have blue cross, which will be for animals who are able to take care of animals. So considering all these things, I think my love for blue will be more and more. And thanks for giving this wonderful, colorful topic. Over to the table topic master.
Thank you, Kalpana. You have explained very well, because I like the blue color very much, but I didn't know all these facts. Okay, you really informed most of the points from blue color. Next, anyone who volunteer, please come forward to take next. Okay, Puneet.
Yes, Toastmasters Suresh.
You are being an excellent orator. I cannot resist myself to the different. There is a red color. I want to see you, because how are you going to take this color? I want to see this red color for you, Puneet.
Red is a sign of passion. Red also signifies RCB Challengers jersey. Although they have never won it, but still, let's say they are hoping for the best, that they will win IPL trophy soon. But having said that, what comes into my mind when I hear this word red? It's my first organization, and the only organization which I worked for was Mahindra. I don't know why that is the first thing which comes into my mind, because I've seen that logo, I've grown up with that logo, at least for the corporate life of mine. So that is one thing which comes into my mind. And what I've learned when being part of an amazing organization called Mahindra in the automotive sector. Here are my 3 learnings in the form of RED. R stands for Relation Growth Atmosphere. I just love the way my team members, the entire organization as a whole, gave me that growth atmosphere right from the start, when I started my journey as a graduate engineer trainee, till the time when I became senior engineer. And yet when I left that organization, I actually felt bad for leaving it. E, empathetic. I was facing challenges with regard to certain design aspect as well. And at the same time, my manager demonstrated empathy and gave me room for improving. And D, daring and being bold. There is always this bureaucracy in corporate that when you tend to hesitate and give your feedback, isn't it? Whether your boss will accept that feedback. But in my organization, our top leaders, they encourage feedback. They were daring in their nature, and they told us to pour and express. That is something which I really enjoyed. And that is what red signifies to me. So to summarize, red for me represents the organization which I worked for. It was empathetic, daring, bold, and more importantly, I still continue that journey. I have left that organization more than 8 months ago, but I still enjoy. And look, the red card is up as well. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Puneet, for giving the wonderful explanation about your organization, how you explained about the red abbreviation. And going back to next, I think Toastmaster Rekha has volunteered, and I must give a soothing color, that is green,
Okay.
for Rekha.
Thank you very much, Suresh. So my color is green. Before I heard this color, I was praying I should get black because I have lots and lots in story to talk about black. But still, green reflects prosperity. It reflects richness, right? So this is what is green. When we are talking about green, the one word which reflects in our mind is nature, right? So are we part of the nature? Are we there protecting the nature, or are we a disaster to the nature itself? This is a big question mark. And I would say this COVID is a big challenge for the human community, a part of nature. But is this COVID a lesson for us of not protecting the nature around us? So this always comes to my mind. We being part of the nature, are we in alignment with the nature and protecting the nature, or are we creating a challenge to the nature, destroying the nature? We think like we are superior and we are destroying the animals and the nature, the plants and everything around us. And then nature teaches us the lesson. One of the lesson is COVID, I would say, and it is as if a never-ending lesson. And is this lesson again, are we human beings learning some lesson out of this, which has been taught by the nature? I don't think so, because after a few years, once this COVID goes away, we again will go back to our original nature of not respecting nature. Because I have seen in Chennai, when we had flood few years ago, because of we not maintaining the infrastructure properly, constructing all the buildings in the river areas, and then we faced all the flood. After this incident, did we learn the lesson of cleaning the area, the landscape, and giving way for the flood and water beds? No, we did not. So let us be part of nature. Let us be part of green and improve the green around us. With this, I hand over the control to the TT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha, for your wonderful speech. Can I have another volunteer? I think Saurav has volunteered previously. Saurav?
I did not. I always refrain from doing that, but let me give it a try.
Okay. For you, the color is colorless. That is white.
So thank you, Toastmaster Suresh, for that color, white color. So white, if I think about color white, it represents simplicity. It represents serenity. It represents calmness, which I always want to have in my life. I want to be as calm as the color white. So color white is something which sorry, back to you, Toastmaster Suresh.
Okay. Thank you, Saurav, for attempting this speech. I think anyone, time is left, or?
Yeah, so what about the next session, Toastmaster Raghu, the educational session? It was supposed to start at 7:44 and we are already 4 minutes past that. Kalpana, you are on mute if you are speaking.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. I was saying that she will join in few minutes. Maybe you can take over, and if anyone else is there for table topics, Amit, would you like to take part, or Sudhir, you would like to take part? We can have a table topic, and then meanwhile she will join.
Otherwise,
another color you have to give.
Okay, Kalpana, Rekha is having so many stories with black. So we will encourage and we will listen to her, because I think she's a motivational speaker, and she is going to give It will be a education session for also.
Maybe we can actually, like, if like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, we can have our own colors discussed by everyone, giving a couple of lines about their colors. I don't mind speaking. I just thought, like, or if there are anyone else who would like to speak, can we give them the opportunity as well? Though I don't mind speaking.
Although I thought of saying, ma'am, let's get down to the evaluation. Rekha ma'am and me will finish off and we'll leave. But then you have requested in this manner. So how can we say no to Rekha ma'am, who is the goddess of division table topics in our club?
Puneet. No, I don't mind. Like, is the education speaker, like, I can say, what do you say, Suresh?
Okay, Toastmaster Rekha, because our educational session
Is yet to
speaker is
come.
going to come.
Okay.
So we can fill this time with this
No
wonderful
worries.
session with you.
No worries. Whether it is wonderful or not, after I talk, you have to tell. So basically, when I'm talking about black, I love black. Okay. To my memory, like, maybe from the age of 3 or 4, from wherever I can go back, my life, like, I can remember I love black. So whenever my father is the one who used to take me for shopping, and shopping is only during festival season. So we will buy dresses, not like now. Whenever we want, we go for shopping, click online or go for shopping somewhere, anywhere. But those days during my childhood, it is shopping means it's only on Diwali or Pongal. Right? So then whenever I go to the shop, my first question is, show me black color dress. And for that, I will get scoldings from my father. Why black? Because I think most of you from the Hindu community can understand black has been considered as a not so auspicious color. But me liking black, I always love black. And every time I'll ask for black color and my father will scold. At the end, I will not get my black color dress. Okay. If at all I get a black color dress, we have a practice that we have to keep those dresses in front of the God, the photos, and then we have to worship. So my dress, if it is black, few times, it will never be kept for worshipping. So I don't mind it as far as I get a black color dress. So this is how it is. And till now, even today, black is my favorite color. And I've been criticized. Some people criticize, but I'm happy that there are people who support black color. But at the same time, as I grew, my love towards other colors have also expanded. When somebody, I think Kalpana spoke about blue. So now, then I started reflecting, like, my recent favorite color is blue. I don't know why. Generally, they say men, the color liked by men is blue. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'm sharing the men traits or whatever it is. I love blue. Red, when somebody spoke about red, again, I reflected upon my own incident. Like, when I was in my school days, I was part of a group. We will have houses. So I was part of a red color group, which was called as Josephites. So we used to wear red color skirt and white color shirt, and we were used to smart roam around, and these colors made me reflect upon my own childhood days. I think I was able to fill up the time. So thank you very much for the opportunity where it helped me to go back to my childhood days. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you, Rekha, for your wonderful in-between speech. And again, I'll hand over my control to the Toastmaster of the day, Saurav, as our guest speaker is also available, I think. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh, for that impromptu table topics session. So it was really wonderful to hear these topics and give it a try. So next, we have the educational session by Toastmasters Sheela, the moment we were all been waiting from the very beginning. So before going to the educational session, let me introduce Toastmaster Sheela, who is our guest speaker. So Sheela is an Illinois native. She has always loved the rhythm of English, from music to nursery rhymes, from monologues to public speeches. She has over 20 years of experience coaching accent reduction to non-native English speaker, as well as a background in business, law, theater, singing, and public speaking. She has coached actors as well as hundreds of Silicon Valley professionals, including engineers and executives from top tech companies, like Amazon, Apple, Google, HP, PayPal, and Samsung. So with that introduction, let me hand it over to Toastmaster Sheila for the educational session. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sheila.
Thank you, Timad, for the introduction. It says Timad. Can everybody hear me okay? I am on a trip right now, and I am in, I don't know, where am I? I'm in Concord because it's near San Francisco because I saw a concert last night. Lindsay Sterling was the artist, and she plays the violin and dances at the same time. Very exciting. Anyway, I'm so happy that you invited me here today to help you with your enunciation. I'm going to share a screen with you. Yes, I have lived in Silicon Valley, I guess, for over 20 years now. I've been accent coaching this whole time. I did get my master's degree in teaching ESL from the University of Illinois. And today we are going to talk about vowel lengthening, because that is something that everybody who's learning English needs to work on. So we will go ahead and try to view this. There we go. All right, so anyone can at any time can schedule private lessons with me. You might know some of the Toastmasters here in the Bay Area. Some of them schedule private lessons with me or have me do workshops. I do have a YouTube channel. So my company is Smooth English. If you look me up, smoothenglish.com, it'll be smooth-english, like right here, smooth-english.com. You can find my YouTube channel, and there will be a video about vowel lengthening for you to review this. I also have online courses that have more videos than appear on my YouTube channel. And the online courses also have audio practice to go with them, so that you can hear me say a sentence, and then there's a space where you repeat it, and then you hear me say it again, and a space where you repeat it, and that keeps going on so that you can keep repeating until you're perfect. Because you gotta drive this practice. You have to change your muscle memory, because you've all been speaking English for quite a while, so you might have some bad habits. So you can find my courses on Udemy or Skillshare. Udemy has lessons that are perfect for what we're going to talk about today, because I have courses that are just for Indian speakers, East Indian speakers of English. So, and there's a course on vowels and consonants. I also have a word stress course, which is for everybody. You definitely need to take that, because I find that speakers from India have a lot of things going on with their word stress, and sometimes it makes you not very comprehensible. So we got to fix up the word stress, but that's not our topic for today. I also have a course on rhythms, super important. You want to do that too. But anyways, if you take any of my Udemy courses and you put in the code September throughout the month of September, you're going to get a nice discount. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, so oh, interesting. Let's see, how did I do this? Well, but how does one go backward? Okay, so we're going to lengthen our vowels before voiced consonants. This might not make any sense yet, but it's going to make sense pretty soon. We're going to lengthen our vowels before voiced consonants and at the end of the words. So today, somebody said the word time. Right before I spoke, the last speaker said the word time, but she didn't really say time. She said time, time. So to me, when she says time and I say time, can you see the difference in the size of my mouth? Time versus time. So we want to make that vowel bigger before the letter M. So the letter M is a voiced consonant, meaning that it is vibrating right here. Ah, or M. M is vibrating here. Okay, so because it's vibrating, we call it voiced, and that I has to be super big before that. So we want to love our vowels, give them attention, so that time is a super big vowel. I'm spending more time on the vowel than on the consonants. That's super important. So we don't want to stress or lengthen everything. we want to learn about the rhythm. The rhythm means you need to quicken your function words by making the vowels really quick. So if I have a sentence like, I need to go to the store, I'm not going to say, I need to go to. Those words to are not going to be stretched out because they're not so important in the rhythm. So we're just going to say, I need to go, where need is stretched out and go is stretched out, but the word to is not. If you speak, I need to go to the store, or I need to go to the store, people are going to think you sound like a robot, like literally. Like they're not going to tell you, hey, you know, Suresh, you sound like a robot. But they're going to be thinking in their head, oh, he sounds like a robot, and it's difficult to listen to him. It's difficult to concentrate. And then they have to like turn their brains up and turn all their energy up to try to figure out what you're saying. So we don't want that. We want people to enjoy listening to you, to relax listening to you, so that they understand everything you're trying to say, right? Let's see what we have next here. I'm gonna have to exit this mode because, oh, that's how it's working. Wow, it's going backwards now. So interesting. Okay, I think it will be faster if I just keep it in this mode. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we are. Oh yeah, so the voiceless consonants are P, T, C, H, K, F, voiceless TH, S, SH, and H. Those are all sounds that you could whisper. Like I could go pa, ta, cha, ka, fa, right? So that means they're not vibrating here. And the voiced consonants are, see, the opposite of P is B, right? So pa, ba, they're both made with two lips, but B is different only because this is vibrating right here in the vocal cords. So B, D, J, G, V, T, H, Z, this is voice TH. See, capital voice TH, lowercase voiceless TH. Z, ZH, R, L, M, N, N, G. Those are all voiced. So you got to stretch out and love your vowels before those consonants. So here you can see the counterparts, right? T and D are opposite, CH and J are opposite, K and G are opposite, and so on. Okay, so we're going to start by, we're going to look at how to do all of these vowels, and we're going to use P and B as an example. So we're using P and B as an example because I find that very often, and I've had many students from India, very often the P and B gets a little mixed up, so I just picked P and B. So when you do P, first of all, let's just do P and B at the beginning of a word because that's always a problem, although today we're not focusing on the consonants at the beginning. But if I want to say a word like, I don't know, pitch and bitch, sorry for the, it's not, bitch is not always a bad word, it's just a female dog, don't worry about it. So, but if I do that, I want the P in pitch to be super clear. So I need to make, I don't want it to come out like bitch. I can't even do it in between. Okay, so an American cannot go in between a P and a B. But Indians are excellent, just super talented at going in between a P and a B. And when you do that, nobody understands you. So they're not going to tell you, hey, I don't understand you, like, was that a P or a B? Because that's rude, right? The only person who can tell you that is me, because that's my job. So, but nobody else can say, hey, that's, you know, like, I don't understand you, dude. You're like, you know, they can't do that. So, but you guys need to make sure that your lips come together like this. Squeeze them, and then a lot of air comes out of your mouth for the P. There's a very firm lip closure between your two lips when you do a P. Pa. More air comes out of your mouth when you do a P at the beginning of a word. But when you do B at the beginning of a word, it's not as tense. It's less firm. There's not as tight of a contact between your lips, right? Bah. And less air comes out of your mouth. So just keep that in mind. Does anybody want to try saying pitch and bitch to make sure I can understand you? Because believe me, it's harder than it sounds. Like everybody thinks they do it right, until they tell me, and I'm like, no, sorry, wasn't right. So any volunteers?
Yeah, myself.
Okay.
Pitch. Pitch.
Pretty good. I'll give you an A minus. A minus. Okay. So do you want to have an A minus or do you want to have an A? But you
A.
were pretty impressive. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you need more air coming out of your mouth. So you need to imagine that there is air pressure. Well, it's not even imagining. I mean, there's really like air building up behind your closed lips. It's coming from, down low. All this air is coming up. You're trapping it with your lips. So you need more of that trapping to happen. And then you're going to let out more air at one time. Pitch.
Pitch.
That was a beautiful P. You get an A plus for that P. Okay? Excellent. All right, so now we're going to move on. Let's put all the vowels before P and B. I've been spotlighted. Okay. Then we'll put the long vowels at the end of the word without the P or the B. So we're going to start with long E. So when I say the word weep, I need to say this word very quickly. If I don't say weep very quickly, then what's going to happen is the voiced E, which is here, E, all the vowels are here, is going to bleed, like bleed, and contaminate that P. And if it contaminates that P, it's going to turn into a B. And it's going to sound like weep, weep, right? So we don't want that. We want weep, weep. So it's got to be pretty fast. But at the same time, you still got to have a long E. It can't turn into a short I or anything. So it's still E. Now, if I say dweeb, I'm going to stretch out that E because it's in front of a B. So I want the vibration in the E to bleed and contaminate the B. Now I want it to. Now it's a good thing. Dweeb. It helps me. I'm going to keep that vibration running through to the end of the word. Dweeb. And then if I have we, like we, that's so fun. You're just going to hold the E for a long time, like very stretched out, right? We. So, and then this is also where you get a chance to do some intonation. So that means that you can go like up and down on that E. You've stretched it out so much that now you can go up and down on it, or maybe down and up if it were a question. So it's we. And you can't do that if you don't stretch things out. It's a little bit harder to do it, right? So then I have a sentence here. Look at the dweeb, weeping. Notice how I say dweeb, I spend more time on the E, but weeping, I do it really fast. Look at the dweeb, weeping. Now, what is a dweeb? A dweeb is some kind of slang word for like a nerd or something like that. Okay, yeah, all right. It's just a funny word. All right, so I'm going to do all of the vowels on this page, and then I'm going to let somebody else try to do these sentences for me, and I'll give you some feedback. So we're going to go on to the short I. So long E is very tense. E. I might have tension here. I have my tongue is tense, but short I. My face is like dead. Lip, lib. And then my tongue is also dead, like totally The tip of the tongue is pointing up a little bit, but it's otherwise pretty sleeping. It's a sleepy tongue. So lip is very fast. This is my lip. And lib, like short for liberal, lib, that's going to be stretched out. Lip versus lib. The lib bit his lip. Okay. And then we have long A, which sounds just like the A in the alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E. So if you say that A, this A is the same as the A in the alphabet, right? A, stay, 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 staple, stable, stay, staple, stable, stay. So the challenge, because this sounds really simple, right? But the challenge is that Indian speakers, and not just Indian speakers, I mean, we're talking about speakers from all over the world, don't want to spend a long time on those vowels. They want everything to be fast. And Indian speakers are like, stay in the staple and staple the pages. Stay in the staple and staple the I mean, they literally talk like something like that. Like, I'm not even joking. So they're just doing everything like the first one. Staple, everything's fast. Now, take a Vietnamese speaker. I don't know if you guys have worked with any Vietnamese, but they're even faster than you. I mean, imagine that, even faster than you, okay? So they really, I mean, I have to like put reins on them, like, you know, and like slow them down, like really muzzle them up and like slow down, guys. Okay, so we're gonna say stay in the stable and staple the pages. You can be fast on staple, go all out fast on staple, because that's fine, okay? But not on the other stay and stable or pages. Pages is also long because of the J. Short E, we have wept and webbed. Now you got to start opening your mouth more. The jaw's going down, down, down. Wept, webbed. She wept in the cobwebbed room. And then short A, your jaw's got to go all the way down. You can probably see my tongue. When I do that A, that's an ugly, ugly vowel. I don't know who invented it, but it's so American. So if you want to have any kind of American English as opposed to British English, you got to get this A like really down pat. So this is cap and cab. Cap, cab. Cap, cab. He left his cap in the cab. Okay, so now I'm ready to have a volunteer to read me those sentences. Who's the volunteer?
I can read it, right?
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Amit, do you want to go? Yeah, please go ahead.
I can try
Yeah,
that.
Amit.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
Amit, you're gonna say,
yeah, I'm trying this first one, sort I. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. I think some issue with Sheila's internet. Sheila, for some time we were not able to hear you. If you could repeat that, that would be great.
And you are on mute.
You are on mute.
You are on mute, Toastmaster Sheila. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now you can hear me. So where did you lose me? Did you lose me on like long E or short I?
After you called up Amit, we could not hear anything from your end.
Oh, okay. So I didn't say anything then. I was just waiting for Amit. so Amit, we're starting from look at the dweeb weeping.
Okay, yeah. Look at the dweeb weeping.
Good. That was nice. It was very clear. Next one.
The lib bit his lip.
Good. That was good. The lib. So really think about when you do that I, you're thinking about the I is ringing right in front of your nose. I want you to feel the vibration. Like if you were humming, and you feel your face is vibrating, and when you do like I want to feel the vibration like up here. So the lib bit is lip. So more of that vibration coming forward.
Okay, I can try again. The lib bit his lip.
Think about, look at how many I's I wrote there. The lib bit is lip.
The lib bit his lip.
Yes. Okay. Now you're stretching it better. Okay. Next one. Next one. Stay in the stable and staple the pages.
Stay in the stable and staple the pages.
You were really good at all the words I asked you to do, but pages you didn't do. Like you were too short on it. You were too quick, right? So that's an A, that's a J sound, which is voice. So it's got to be just like stable, pages. Actually, pages will even be bigger because it's at the end of the sentence. And anything at the end of the sentence is super important. So it's stay in the stable and staple the pages. Pages.
Stay in the stable and staple the pages.
Nice. You're giving too much attention to the word the. So the is a function word, and before an S or a P, it's just going to be pronounced the. It's not the. It's only the before a vowel, like the ocean. Okay, but before stable, it's just the stable. The, really fast. So stay in the stable and staple the pages.
Stay in the staple and stay in the stable and staple the pages.
Good. Okay, that's much better. So you see how it's kind of tricky getting the right. Easy sounds so like elementary, like some first grader would do it, right? But it's trickier than because you got bad habits going on. All right, so we've got short E. Next one.
She wept in the cobwebbled room.
So that means there were a lot of spiders. They put their webs everywhere, right? She wept in the cobwebbed room.
Okay, yeah. She wept in this. Okay, she wept in the cobweb room.
Yeah, so this is she, and I heard you say C, right? So you didn't do an SH, right? So for the SH, round your lips. She. You don't have a lot of time to do it because this is a quick word. So it's like she. She wept in the cobwebbed room.
She wept in the cobwebbed room.
Yes, spend a little more time on webbed. Wet cob, even though we do stress cob, but we still need to stretch out the E a little bit more. Cobwebbed room.
She wept in the cobwebbed room.
Yes. Now you're going to want to take my consonant course and definitely look at where I teach SH because you like to skip the SH. You're making an S instead. So that's a personal note for you, right? That you can go and work on that. Okay, now let's hear the next one.
Yeah. He left his cap in the cab.
Nice. He left his cap in the cab. Good. All right, so let's move on to, let's see what I have next here. Okay, so we have more vowels, right? Those were only the front vowels. So now we're doing the central vowels. So we have ER, burp, burb, like a suburb, and brr, it's so cold in here, right? So we have he burps, he lives in the cold suburbs, brr. And then so for that ER, that's usually pretty tricky for Indian speakers. Usually you guys don't do the R right? So let's talk a little bit about that R. So we have a consonant R and we have this vowel ER. They're both very similar. In both of them, you need to pull your tongue backward. So I'm feeling like I'm gonna swallow my tongue. Like I'm like bringing my tongue like back toward my throat. So what I'm not gonna do is this kind of R where you like lift your tongue up, because then you guys do this. This is what you guys do. Like, see, I can't even do it, right? But you know what I mean, like, like you kind of do like we do a D, like he burps, but I don't want to do the front of the tongue. I want to do he burps. Bring it back. The sides of your tongue are gonna touch the insides of your upper molars, your upper teeth, and you're gonna do this with your lips. You're gonna pinch the corners of your lips because that makes your mouth really narrow, and then it's easy for your tongue to touch those teeth in the back. Burps, Okay, so that's how we're gonna do He lives in the cold suburbs, and so see here you stress sub, but you still have to be super clear on that UR, which is an ER. Suburbs. So make sure, even though the ER is lower and quieter, it's still an ER. Okay, and so it's not suburbs. And then brr, really stretch that out. Okay, so let's do short U next. We have pup and pub. So the short U is the most common vowel, You don't really do anything on it. Your tongue just hangs out and chills in the middle of your mouth, and it's just flat and relaxed. No tension in the tongue. Americans use this vowel for thinking. I'm not sure. I don't know, right? So it's that because it's so easy. So pup and pub. So, but just make sure you're lengthening it where necessary. So take the pup to the pub. And then short O, a lot of problems. So Americans cannot do something that you guys can do. But you guys probably have a very special talent, which is not very useful for American English. But your special talent would be going right between the short U and the short O. Somewhere between. For both of them. And then nobody can understand which one you're saying. It's like 50-50 guess. Do you think he said pup or do you think he said pop? I don't know. And like half the room would say, I think he said pup. And the other half of the room like, oh no, he definitely said pop, right? So it's your special talent, but like I said, it's not useful unless you want to confuse people. So it has your mouth like halfway open. And has your mouth all the way open. But there's nothing in between in English, nothing in between. So there's pup and there's pop. Pup, pop, pup, pop. They look really different, right? So you need to make sure when you do them that they also look really different. So let's work on the lengthening now for this slop. So this is hard for people because you have to open your mouth a lot, but you have to do it very quickly. And you have to then close your mouth again quickly, right? Slop. You don't have a lot of time to lower that chin. So you got to work on And sometimes what people do is they put their fingers here, and I'm going to show you how to go to the gym. Okay, you go to the gym for free and you work out your jaw muscles. So like you put your fingers here and you go. And I'm using my fingers as resistance. Like I'm trying to make it so I can't open my jaw. And that's going to make my jaw stronger. And then I could do the same thing going up. Like I'm trying to like close my jaw, but I'm fighting it. So just doing something like that throughout the day could make it stronger and might make your short O better. So we have slop, slob, and slaw. Like, oh, I want some coleslaw with that. Now, some people would say that that's a short back O, like more like slaw, like a round oval. But the truth is that half of Americans do the short back O, or like aw, and half of Americans don't. They would just say slaw. Okay, so it's either slaw or slaw. But in either case, you have to drop your chin a lot. It's just the shape of your lip and the angle of your tongue. So usually people in New York and on the East Coast do the oval, aw. But people in California don't really do that, okay? And people in most of the United States don't really do that. It's an East Coast thing. So, and of course, you know, that's maybe more common in some other English-speaking countries. So slop, slob, and slaw. The slob should clean up the slop he made out of the slaw. Who's going to be my volunteer? So I just need someone to read those 3 sentences. I'm very curious to see how the ER is going to sound. I'm super excited to hear somebody's ER.
I can give it a try.
Okay.
So let me start with the first sentence. He burps. He lets.
Okay, so he burps. That's what I heard. He burps. But I need he burps. So it's a different ER sound. Really think about, I'm going to swallow my tongue. That means you got to pull your tongue backward, like contract your tongue. It's going to go to the back of your mouth.
Okay.
He burps.
He burps.
Like think like you're a bear and you're like,
Okay. He burps.
Oh, it started to get really good, especially toward the end of your ER. It started sounding really, really correct near the end of it. Try it again. So the energy is going to go this way. And actually, let's think like this. There's a vacuum cleaner in your throat. Okay, a vacuum cleaner. And it's going to suck everything inside your mouth backwards. So your cheeks, like everything inside your mouth, including your tongue, are sucked backward. He burps.
He burps.
Getting better, yeah. Okay, next one. He lives in the cold suburbs.
He lives in the old suburbs.
Good. So that was a really good ER on suburbs, but it was too loud. Because for the word stress, we want to stress sub, not burbs, okay? It's suburbs. So burbs has to be lower in pitch.
Burr.
Yes, okay, that was a good burr. He lives in the cold suburbs.
He lives in the cold suburbs.
Nice. Now your ER is getting good. I like it. Do you like your ER now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Next one. Take the pup to the pub.
Take the pup to the pub.
Nice. Next.
The slob should clean the slop he made out of the slop.
I didn't understand the difference between slob and slop. Let's do it again.
The slob should clean up the slop he made out of the slop.
Wow, your slaw was so fast at the end that time. Because so what happened is, this is a very common problem. So you got excited that you were almost done with the sentence, right? And when people get excited that they're almost done with the sentence, they drop the end of the sentence and they don't put energy into it. But guess what? The most important part of the sentence is usually at the end. So you can't get lazy by the end. So you have to make slaw the biggest, most energetic word. So what you said was, he made out of the slaw. He made out of the slaw. You kind of even went slaw, slaw, instead of slaw. It's such a huge difference, right? So I'm going to have you do that again. The slob, and you're doing a little bit of the rounding, like you're a little bit New York style, just so you know, but that's okay if you want to be a little New York style. You're a little bit like slaw instead of slob. Slob. So you can try both ways if you want, but the slob should clean up the slop he made out of the slaw.
The slop should clean up the slop he made out of the slaw.
That was a good slaw that time, yes. Okay. The slob should clean up the slop he made out of the slaw. One more time.
The slob should clean up the slop he made out of the slaw.
A little faster on slop. He should clean up the slop.
The
I mean,
slop
if you
should.
guys are like, are you guys like engineers and like computer techie people? Because if you are, like, you could use this word slop. Like you're writing code. It's like, there's so much slop in this code. Let's clean up this slop. Like, you know, like wasted computer language. Like, why is it so wordy? Like, why do we need all this garbage in the code? Just clean it up, right? Clean up the slop. So imagine you're talking to your colleagues and you want to clean up the code, right? All right, one more time.
The slob should clean up the slop he made out of the slaw.
Nice. You did reverse intonation on slaw. You went slaw. You went down, up. But I would go up, down because it's a statement. But otherwise, it was beautiful. He made out of the slaw.
So I have a question. Like, how do you know where do you put the focus? Where do you put the stress? How do you know? Because these are examples which you are telling us, but in real world, when we are actually conversing, how do we know where we have to put the
so
stress?
The general rule is you stress the last content word that you haven't already talked about. So the last content word that's in the new information. So like this whole sentence is new, right? And the last content word is slaw. So we stress slaw. So so if you go on my YouTube, there's a video called Primary Phrase Stress, or maybe it's called I think it's called the most important word. And that explains how to choose the most important word. Okay, so the video is called The Most Important Word. Okay, so all right, that was pretty good. So I think we should move on. Let's see. Okay, so now we're on the back vowels. We have loop, lube, and loo. So you gotta be really rounded, tight circle, ooh. So we have loop, lube, and loo. Loo needs to lube the loop. And then we have long O, rope, robe, row. Wear a robe tied with a rope when you row the boat. And, I have another long O, huh? How'd that happen? Liposuction Oh, maybe this is supposed to be long I. Okay, yeah. This is not right. This should be, just so you know, that should be long I. Okay, that makes sense. So we have lipo, like lipo is really quick, like. And then we have library. You have to see how much I open my mouth on lie versus lipe. Lipe, lie. Lipe, lie. Very different. So the I is tremendously different. Liposuction, library, and lie. This goes back to when someone said the word time right before I started speaking. Time would be like library, right? Time, library. Okay, so he told a lie that he was at the library because he didn't want anyone to know he was getting liposuction. Okay, so liposuction, just in case you don't know, it's like when people remove your fat. You get surgery or something so that you get skinny. You know, that's kind of embarrassing. Nobody wants anyone to know that. All right, so now I need a volunteer. And I wrote here, lipo, you open halfway. Lie, you open all the way. Okay, so a big difference. All right, let's see. I would like to have a different volunteer if possible, or whatever you guys want.
Suresh or Rekha, would you like to do?
Yeah, okay. I've just switched on. Yeah.
Okay, so you're here. Lou needs to lube the loop.
You want me to pronounce this? Loop, lube, and loo.
Yes, and read this sentence.
Lou needs to lube the loop.
Good, you got all the words right. You wouldn't want to pronounce the so much, right? Lou needs to lube the loop. So the rhythm of the sentence goes like this. Lou needs to lube the loop. I only clap on Lou needs lube and loop. Lou needs to lube the loop. Let's try that.
Lou needs to lube the loop.
Yeah, but not lube the loop because you're just totally
lube the loop, right?
Yes, lube the loop. Yes, exactly.
Lube the loop.
Yes. Okay, next one.
Wear a robe tied with a rope when you row the boat.
Yes. Okay, so you're going to be my model. You're going to be my model for the R sound because, okay, so you did this beautiful R that I don't even know how to do. Like, I could try for like years to do that R and it would never happen, right? So you did something like, how do you do that? Wear a robe. So you did the rolling R, right? So we're going to have you try to take your tongue and instead pull it backward like you're going to swallow it. And for this consonant R, instead of pinching your lips like this, you're going to go round lips like this. Wear a robe, robe. And I'm pulling that tongue all the way back. Wear a robe tied with a rope. Try that.
Wear a robe, robe.
Yeah, and so your O, let's see, your O. You need to have more space in your throat. Oh, like think your throat is humongous. Oh, and there, I mean, of course there's tension here for the O, right? Wear a robe, but
robe.
I'm feeling O was yes, that's right. Wear a robe tied with a rope.
Wear a robe, robe tied with the rope.
Yes, and so you're gonna work on that R. So if you take my consonant course, you're gonna focus on that R because that's like you're gonna look. How do you do that R and really practice that? Because your R sounds very different from an English R. Okay, so we have next one is he told a lie. You can try that one.
He told a lie that he was at the library because he didn't.
Okay, let's stop. So I need more on lie, like more vowel lengthening, and also more on library. So right now you had some lengthening, but not enough. So even more. So he told a lie.
He told a lie.
He was at the library.
Okay. He told a lie that he was at the library.
So you kind of said library. So you did library like I do liposuction, right? You did library. But I want that he was at the library.
Okay. Library.
Library. So big I. I. You really got to drop your chin.
Right.
Library.
Library.
Better, yes. So you're resisting that I, right? So how would you say the word lie?
Lie.
Yes, okay, just like that. Do something
Library.
like that. Yes, library.
Yeah, library.
Yes, that's much better. Okay, good. All right, you can continue the sentence.
Because he didn't want anyone to know he was getting liposuction.
Good. So your liposuction is fine. The lipo part, that's easy for you. We had to make your other ones bigger though, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, moving on. So now the last vowels are, well, we just did I, but now we're going to also do ow and oi. Okay, so these ones are kind of funny. So we had tripe and tribe, and remember you have to open your mouth a lot more for tribe. Bright and bride, life and live, rice and rise. So like rice is before an S sound, right? So it's small, but rise actually has a Z. That's not like, it looks like an S, but it's really a Z, right? So we have to make it even bigger, rise. And then we have long OU does the same thing. Like if I say clout, I don't open my mouth too much, but cloud, oh, I open my mouth a lot. So there's a huge difference between clout and cloud. And then there is house, which is a noun, and house, which is a verb. House and house. And then there is louse and lousy. And this says amount and mound. So those ones, I'm going to have someone do those for me, and I'm going to want to hear a lot of contrast. And then finally we have oi. There's not so much contrast here, just voice and boys. So you just, it doesn't look really different, but you do stretch out boys more than voice. Boys ends in a Z. So anytime you add a plural marker or third person singular marker to the end of a noun that ends in a vowel or a voice consonant, you're going to get a Z sound. That S will be like a Z. So voice or boys. A point versus coin. Okay, so can I have a volunteer? This is easy. You don't even have to read sentences. You just have to read words. How easy is that?
Suresh or Puneet, anyone would like to go?
Yeah. If you want, yeah, Puneet, you would like to take?
I don't see him.
Yeah, maybe I can continue if he's not joining. Right. So you want me to pronounce these words?
Yes, starting with tripe and tribe.
Tribe, tribe.
Those were very similar. Like I felt like
tribe,
your eyes
tribe.
were almost the same. Yeah. So I want them to be super different. Like I. Like they look very different. They sound very different. Tripe, tribe.
Tribe, tribe.
Your tripe was perfect. Okay. Now you have to really, really lower your jaw and your tongue, like ah, in
tribe.
order to be tribe. So basically,
tribe.
like, how would you say the word hot?
Hot.
So when you have to go even bigger. Ha, hot.
Hot.
Yeah, so this is like like opening your mouth more. So because it's that same, you have to start at that same position to say the word tribe, like hot, tribe.
Tribe.
Yes. Tribe, tribe.
Tribe, tribe.
Yeah, so I would challenge yourself to make that even bigger. Okay, even bigger. Because otherwise you're not getting the full potential out of your words, right? You're kind of cutting short, and you're not milking it. It's like you're not milking the cow. You're not juicing the orange, right? There's more there that can come out. Let's try bright and bride.
Bright, bride.
Bride was so small. You were
bright,
like
bride.
So if I was going to imitate, okay, if I was going to imitate an accent from India, and I know there's many languages in India, but just kind of general, I would probably be like, oh, it is the bride. Oh, look at how beautiful the bride is. Look at how beautiful the bride. I would say, but an American would say, look how beautiful the bride is, right? It's like bride versus bride. It's super different. So bright, bride.
Bride.
Like imagine you're surprised, like and you're like really opening that mouth up, right?
Right. Bride.
It's a matter of getting your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. So you gotta kind of stretch your tongue out. Like I go like this. See, like going around in my mouth, I'm like stretching that tongue out.
Yeah.
And then like think about it at the very bottom. And then you open your jaw, like doing these exercises. Fight it, right? And remember, the jaw opens like here. There's a little joint here where you open from.
Yeah.
You gotta practice opening that. Bride.
Pride.
That was much better. Yes. Okay. You opened once for me. Okay.
Right.
Next one. Life and live.
Life, live.
Nice. Rice, rise.
Rise, rise.
Yeah. And I'm looking at your mouth, and you can see, like, you can look at yourself in your camera, and you can see that you're not really opening that much. So you can judge, like, just by looking. Rice, rise. I need to see a big black hole. So when you do ah, there's just a big black hole in my mouth. You don't see anything. Ah, right? Big black circle. Rice,
right.
Rise.
Rise.
Yes, that was better. Okay, so now we're going to do the ow. So it's going to be clout, cloud.
Cloud, cloud.
Ah, yes. Okay, so this cloud. So what we do, it says long OU, but Americans actually start with a short A, like an apple. Okay, so we would say cloud, cloud. So think of like a as an apple. Cloud.
Cloud.
Yes, and then you get that rounding at the end. Cloud. Cloud.
Cloud.
Yes. Okay. House. House.
House, house.
That was good. Yes. Louse. Lousy.
Louse, lousy.
Now the thing with lousy is nobody says lousy unless they're like really mean it. So that means it's like one of those words that's always kind of big, like that's so lousy. I hate that, right? It's a big word. So you really like, it's a dramatic word. So that means you can go really far with that vowel. You can really milk the cow on that vowel. So lousy.
Lousy.
I had he's such a lousy, I don't know. He had such a lousy idea, like a terrible idea, right?
Right.
Okay. A mount and a mound.
Amount, mound.
Bigger on mound.
Mound.
So what's interesting is that the NT, T is voiceless, but ND, N is voice, but you have to look at the D. The D is voice, so that's why these are different. Mount versus mound.
Mound.
Yeah, you're kind of like mound, mound. So that's an accent from a different country. You're probably a little bit more British, which is fine. You can be more British on it if you want. Americans would be more like with a short A, mound. Like that's a big mound of dirt.
Right.
Okay, then we have oi. So voice, and so Americans treat this O more like a long O, not like voice, like that. We don't do this British thing, so we do the O, like voice.
Right. Voice, boys.
Good. Boys. Think oi, oi. Really get that vibration forward.
Right.
Boys.
Boys.
Nice. A point, coin.
A point, coin.
Nice. Okay, I like it. All right, so let's see. We move on to the next one. So we're gonna, so this is where I guess you guys get to practice a little bit. Practice vowel lengthening with all of these consonants and vowels. So I'm gonna say them a couple times for you, and then if you guys, I don't know if you guys like to practice in breakout rooms. If you want, you can do that, or you can just practice here. It's up to you. So we have apps and abs, and then we have tights and tides, and then we have locks and logs, and then we have mystery and misery, and then we have lunch and lunge, cinch, singe, spink, Spain, etch, edge, Sasha, massage. So before that GE, that's a ZH sound, so you got to lengthen that A. Massage. leak, league, ocean, erosion, scarf, scarves, tenth, or this is teeth, teeth, and turpentine. There's a P there. Turpentine versus turban. Okay, so anybody wants to try those? Or you can tell me if you want to go in breakout rooms for a few minutes or if you want to just do it here. But however you want to do it.
I can volunteer myself.
Okay, good. Let's do it.
Abs.
Good.
Tides. Tides.
You need to be bigger on the I. Tights, tides.
Tides. Tides.
Yes.
Locks. Logs. Mystery. Misery.
Yes.
Lunch. Launch.
Yeah, so I kind of heard you say launch, so I need lunge.
Lunch. Launch.
Mm-hmm.
Cinch. Singe.
Yes.
Spank. Spain.
Yes.
Etch. Edge.
Yes.
Shasha. Massage.
Good.
Leak. League. Ocean. Erosion.
So the ocean has an SH sound, right? But erosion has a ZH sound. So you need to make sure that SI is making a buzzing sound right here. Erosion.
Ocean. Erosion.
That was still an SH. So see if you can, it's gonna feel exactly the same with your lips and tongue, but you're gonna buzz it right here. Instead of sh, it's
Erosion.
that was better, yeah. So you really gotta think, how do you make a Z like Z?
Erosion.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Ocean erosion, yes.
Ocean erosion.
That was it. Well, I meant Z because I wanted you to buzz like a Z, but you have to round your lips like an SH. Okay, so it's like a combination of SH and Z. Zhun, yeah. Yes. Okay, next word.
Scarf. Scarves.
Good. So this is where you start ER. So remember we were talking about ER earlier, and you had to pull your tongue back. So when you see the AR, there's an ER inside of that. So it's scarf and scarves.
Scarf. Scarves.
Yeah, think ska and then
Scarves. Scarf. Scarves.
That's better, yeah, and really, really milk that ER like you're milking the cow. Lots of ER, make it juicy. And remember, there's a vacuum cleaner in your throat sucking everything in your mouth backwards to make that ER.
But I have a question, like now when we are speaking fluently, how do we identify this and how do we embed these things? Like I'm saying, if I have to give a speech and how do I accommodate all this?
Oh, okay. Well, for Toastmasters, you're probably writing out part of your speech. I don't know if you write out your whole speech or you're trying to make part of it impromptu and you just have some notes. But definitely take your key words and your problem words. I mean, for you guys, problem words are going to be any words that have an R in them for sure. And so, underline those words and write like ER, write it in there because you know what you're going to say in advance. You're preparing, right? So it's pretty easy to do for Toastmasters. Now, when you're just speaking impromptu at a meeting and you haven't prepared exactly what you're going to say, that's a different story, right? But that's why you're in Toastmasters, to practice speaking more. So you can be writing out some of your problem words. You can be marking up your transcript, which syllables to stress. There's so many things that you can mark up. as you study more things about the pronunciation of English, for sure. But yeah, anytime where you have an AR or any kind of ER, like you got to underline it and make yourself pull your tongue backwards. Scarves instead of scobs, right? We don't say scobs. We say scarves. Well, at least that's for, it depends on your goal. Like, do you want to have British English or do you want to have American English? So you guys asked me to come and speak, so I'm just giving you the American point of view. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Teeth. Teeth.
Yeah, I would do teeth faster because that's a voiceless TH. So the noun has a voiceless, and the verb, when you have that E at the end of the word, it makes the TH voiced. So you have teeth, teeth.
Teeth. Teeth.
Yes, so your TH is a little obstructed, so you need to make sure that your tongue isn't touching anything. So it comes super close to your teeth without touching it. Like, how close can you get without burning the tongue tip? Teeth. The air still passes between the tongue tip and the teeth, but it gets super close and creates that friction, and it causes the vibration in the tip of the tongue.
Teeth.
Yes, teeth, teeth.
Teeth. Yes, I can feel the difference.
Yeah.
Turpentine, turban.
Good. Okay, nice job. All right. Here, oh, this is super important for people from India. I find this mistake is very common, especially for people from India. Be sure to lengthen the vowels at the end of the word, even if they are unstressed. So when we have the word taxi, like, you don't want to say taxi. Taxi. There's definitely a long E at the end of that word, taxi. And you need to spend some time on that E. It'll be low pitch and quieter, but it still deserves some time. Taxi. Heavy. So I don't want to say heavy. Like, I didn't do anything there. I didn't give that Y justice. Heavy. Subaru. The oo is lengthened. Subaru. Alloy. So I gotta go carry out that oi to the end. Cello. Tomorrow. The O. Don't cheat on that O. Stimuli. The I is a big I at the end of the word. I open my mouth a lot. Stimuli. Wagyu. This is some kind of steak. I don't know, fancy steak. Cherokee. Beaver. When you have an ER at the end, you got to pull that tongue back for a long time. River. Otter. Okay, can I have somebody try these? Maybe Rekha.
Suresh.
Oh, okay. Whoever wants to, go for it. Taxi.
Saurabh, I have added you.
Sorry, what was that, Kalpana?
You have to read these.
You want me to give it a try?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Taxi. Heavy. Subaru.
Heavy. So this is, you're going to stress heavy.
Heavy.
Yes.
Subaru.
Subaru. So we're still stressing the first syllable, but you just need to make sure that you don't kill the oo at the end. Subaru.
Subaru.
Yes.
Alloy.
Alloy. So we're stressing A. Alloy.
Alloy.
Yes.
Cello.
This is an Italian word, I guess, so it has a CH sound. Cello.
Cello.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes, so think about that R. You had that kind of front of the tongue R, but think about how you do a pull the tongue back for the R instead. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That was a good R, yes.
Stimuli.
Yeah, there's a Y sound that you can't see between the M and the U. Stimuli.
Stimuli.
Yes.
Wagyu.
A little more oo at the end. Wagyu.
Wagyu.
Yes.
Cherokee.
Stressing the first syllable, Cherokee. That's an Indian tribe.
Cherokee.
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 Yes.
Beaver.
A teeny bit more ER at the end. Beaver.
Beaver.
Okay, nice.
River.
Good. River.
River. Otter.
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 Otter. So the O at the beginning, super big. Otter.
Otter.
Yeah, and
Otter.
notice I'm not saying the T, right? What am I saying instead of T? Otter.
Otter.
I didn't say, I made a D sound, right? Otter. Yeah. Okay, good. And then, wow. All right, we're coming to our conclusion here. So lengthen your vowels before the voice consonants and at the end of the words. Love your vowels. Give them attention. Somebody locked herself out here. Okay. And there we are at the end, and I will just remind you, I hope you enjoyed our workshop on vowel lengthening today. This doesn't have to be the end of your knowledge about vowel lengthening or the end of your practice, because you can go to my website, smoothenglish.com. You can find my YouTube channel. I have a video about it there. You can watch it as much as you want. You can easily get my course on American English vowels for Indian IT professionals on Udemy. Coupon code September, or if you like Skillshare, you can do it there. But the one on Skillshare is for everybody in general, not just Indian speakers. So you might prefer the Udemy one. And you can keep in touch with me. Check out my website, email me. You can ask me for help anytime. And does anyone have any questions?
It was really helpful, and we could understand how important it is to ensure we are giving proper sounds. Shiela, your session definitely helped me. And now I may just take a pause and talk with all the sounds, especially with the ones which are connected with PNB. Thank you so much for your session.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, so we just looked at a small aspect of accent reduction or pronunciation today, what we could talk about in an hour, but I think you got a really good set of examples to remember for this vowel lengthening. We covered like all the different vowels also. If you do take my vowel course, you're going to learn specifically how to make all those vowels. A lot more detail about every vowel for sure. So it would be a wise investment for you since you're all Toastmasters and you love to perfect your English. Any other questions?
I think we are good.
Okay, I'm so happy you had me today. You guys have a great Saturday night. I guess it's Saturday night for you. For me, it's Saturday morning. And thanks for waking me up early. And I will see you next time. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, Toastmasters Sheela, just we'd like to thank you for taking up this wonderful session. It was really enlightening and full of learning for all of us. It was a privilege listening to you. We hope to hear from you again in the future. Thank you so much and have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, what a session that was.
All our tongue and mouth has done exercise.
full of tongue twister. I never realized this goes into that much of detail and a lot of stress has to be put in. So we just speak on our own. No one actually bothers to say that this is where you have to stress, this is where you have to put a stress on the word and everything. We just speak whatever comes to our mind. Anyways, before moving further, we are already running late. Can we extend this meeting by 10 minutes if that is okay with everyone?
I second it.
Sure, thank you. So before moving further, I would also like to thank our VP Education, DTM Raghu, for arranging these educational sessions. A lot of hard work goes behind the scene, which we are not aware of. And he's always caring to conduct these sessions so that we get most out of it. So thank you so much, DTM Raghu, for that. Now, moving to the next section, which is on evaluation. So let me call upon Toastmaster Puneet to do the evaluation of speaker one. Over to you, Toastmaster Puneet.
Sure. Sudhir has already left, but it's okay. No issues. I can understand. It happens. Dinner time is more important than Toastmasters.
Before you go ahead, I
No, it's
just
okay.
wanted to tell today he's actually attending one of the segment in COVID section. So his duty was impromptu. So he said he'll take the feedback from recording. So apologies for that.
No issues, no issues. In fact, I was also planning to record parallelly on my phone as well, so that I can put it on my YouTube channel and share the link with you, and you can do that same as well. Anyways, good to hear that. But yes, he has a very good knowledge. Okay, let's start our evaluations. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudhir, for giving us an amazing repository of content with regards to COVID-19. Toastmaster Sudhir, here is my evaluation in the form of SUDHIR. The 5 beautiful things which I loved in your speech is number 1, superb credibility. Right at the start, you mentioned that you are a nursing graduate. And when you have that credibility, it makes your audience very important for them to listen to you. Great job on the credibility part. Number 2, understanding the pulse, which is the current pulse, what is going around. You took a very common subject, which is very dangerous, which we are all experiencing, and you instantly use it as an audience connect to bank on the knowledge level which you have. D, which is demonstrating knowledge, especially when you shared RT-PCR test is 60 to 70% effective, core test as 3 to 5% dangerous, 2 to 3 moderate, less than 2 is less. So I really enjoyed the repository of knowledge which you shared. It just goes to show how much strong conviction you have with what you have learned. And my favorite, H, highlighting contrast. You actually use India versus foreign nations. For example, when you said we Indians use spicy, freshly prepared food, whereas Westerners use preservative food, and hence we are more likely to be strong on the immunity aspect. And I appreciate the way in which you brought in innocence and authenticity when you said, I don't know what do they call for lavang, or I don't know what do they call in English. I just enjoyed that. And the best part of your speech, incredible solution. Acquire immunity through dietary habit, cardio activity like walk, and warm water, which is a clear solution to overcome COVID-19 pandemic. I just love the way in which you brought that out. Now, how can you take this speech and improve it even more further and meet the objectives? I have just one recommendation. Resource sites. I just wanted to know where you have taken your amazing depth of content. No doubt you are credible and have strong conviction with what you have prepared. You are an authoritative speaker on that. You have an authority on that subject. Yet I just wanted to know 1 or 2 sites, Indian Journal Medical Association, some 2 or 3 resources would have ensured that yes, Sudhir has taken from relevant sources, and that was also the objectives of your speech as well. To summarize, superb credibility because you are a nursing graduate. You understanding the current pulse, the situation, what's going around. D, demonstrating knowledge, which I really enjoyed. H, highlighting contrast between why Indians are stronger and more immune to any other disease in the world than Western counterparts. Incredible solution, which was the important part of your speech. If you could just work and ensuring that you cite resources, I'm sure you will be the best research speaker which Toastmaster fraternity has seen. Thank you for giving us an amazing informative speech. You are my Wikipedia, Professor Google, with regards to COVID-19 for future purpose. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Puneet, what an innovative way to give the evaluation, like linking that name and letters with individual words and the quality of the speech. Thank you so much for that. Next, we have Toastmaster Rekha, who will be giving the evaluation for Kalpana's speech. So over to you, Toastmaster Rekha.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It was an excellent speech, Toastmaster Kalpana, and this initiative exhibits your leadership skill in creating more leaders and more communicators. I really appreciate you on this initiative. Now coming to what I like the most in your speech. It was a well-organized and well-structured speech, which is one of the objective of your speech. And then it was an uninterrupted flow. You had an uninterrupted flow. It is as if a waterfall where nothing stopped you from completing your speech, as well as there was no rush. The smooth flow was there. I really appreciate on that as a second point. And the third is you have a very strong storytelling strategy. So you started with the problem statement and then identify the problem, and you want to come out with a solution where you wanted to introduce your team, the team with the Toastmaster fraternity. And you also said, like, how did you convince your manager? Like, what is in it for me? That is what everyone looks for. And you really address that, motivating your manager and the team to get into this, attend this demo meeting, and pulled a couple of people into the Toastmaster fraternity. I love these 3 points in your speech. Now coming, how can your speech be made better? See, one, I understand this is the first speech and it is to talk about the upcoming event, but your speech was about an event which has already been done. So I feel there is a conflict in the project objective. And even though in spite of that, I would say you could have said, how did you form the team? See, there were role players, there were speakers. How did you motivate them to come and take part in the meeting? So that you could have said. And then what skills did you use to motivate people to come and take part in the meeting? And then what is the challenge you underwent? Definitely there is a challenge in every Toastmaster meeting, as Toastmasters we know. So what is the challenge you had, and what were your learnings in organizing this event? This would have created a wholesome or this would have been a complete treat in your speech. So to summarize the 3 things which I like the most, it was a well-organized and well-structured speech. It was an uninterrupted flow, and your storytelling is your strength. Now coming, how you can improve your speech. One, you can understand what is the project objective and stick to your project objective. And the next, what skills and what skills did you use to motivate people to participate in the meeting? And what were your challenges and what were your learnings in organizing this event? This would have made your speech from good to great. All the very best for your upcoming speeches. Back to you, Amit, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha, for the great evaluation. I must say it was a very detailed and a minute evaluation which you have done. Thank you for that. Next, we'll quickly hear from the timer of the day, Mr. Amit, about the timer's report. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. So all the speeches were well within the time period allotted. So for the prepared speeches, the Toastmaster Sudhir took 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Toastmaster Kalpana took 5 minutes and 48 seconds. In the table topic section, Toastmaster Kalpana took 1 minute and 43 seconds. Toastmaster Puneet took 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Toastmaster Rekha took 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Evaluation section, Toastmaster Puneet took 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and Toastmaster Rekha took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So yeah, everyone was well within the time. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for that wonderful report. In the interest of time, let me pass it on to the presiding officer to close the meeting and do the needful. Over to you, presiding officer, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, everyone. I know it's too late and people have already left, but I think we had a quality meeting and a lot of learnings from this meeting today. So anyone who would like to give feedback, I'll be really happy to take it. Anyone who wants to say? Officially, I close this meeting. However, we can connect for 5 more minutes and take the meeting. Let me stop the recording.